Wir schaffen das. Am Wochenende noch mehr Nachweise, dass wir das gut schaffen in unserer Demokratie. Klar, geht alles gut. 3 more violent knife attacks in Germany just over the weekend with dead people once again. But okay, it shouldn't really be a surprise though, right? Because the fact is, everybody knew that this government and the people that are going to run it are not going to do anything about the immigration problem in this country. They're going to do absolutely zero to fix it. And they made that clear. They made that clear when they continued to uphold the Brandmauer against the AfD. When they said, well, we can't work with the AfD, we're going to have to work with the SPD, which is completely pro-immigration. They want as many immigrants from Muslim countries in this country as they can possibly get. Whatever their motivation is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. It goes against everything that they took an oath for. It goes against everything they should be standing for. And they're going to continue to allow this country to be flooded with immigrants from countries that have values that do not mix with ours whatsoever. They don't go together at all. Again, Germany has been around for a long time. This new flavor of murder with knives has come ever since about 2015, right? And it's usually, almost always, I would say 90% of the time, the same group of people that are committing murder with knives in this country. There's only one group of people in this country that is walking around with butcher knives in their sweatpants, in their sweatpants pocket, right? Nobody else is doing it. There's only one group of people. We don't have to say who it is. We know who it is. We can be like the mainstream media and say, well, I mean, we don't know. They're obviously psychisch gestört, psychisch belastet, right? We know that. We don't know who it is, and we don't know what their motivation is. And so, guys, we have to just let it go. I mean, that's it. We have to understand. These people are coming from war-torn areas. They've got PTSD, and we need to give them free psychological. After we fix their teeth for free, we need to give them free psychological help so that they don't go around stabbing random Germans, right? That's the solution we're going to come up with. Wir schaffen das. Oh, good. Oh, good. All right. All right, guys. They're doing a great job. You know what they mean when they say wir schaffen das? They mean the same thing as they mean as when they say unsere Demokratie. Wir schaffen das in unsere Demokratie. What they mean is, we're going to get it done. We're going to keep our word and allow people in this country, no matter what you stupid citizens say, you people shut the fuck up, right? Wir schaffen das. We're going to do it. And you're going to accept it because we're going to tell you you're going to accept it. And there's nothing you can do. And if you complain about it, you're fucking racist. How's that? You love Hitler and Putin. Yeah. That's what we're going to do to you. And you're against Klimawandel, and you don't believe in the Holocaust, and you don't all of these same tropes that they've been using for everything. That's what they say when they mean wir schaffen das, right? They mean we're going to do it, and you stupid dumb citizens are just going to shut up and take it. You're going to vote for us when we tell you. You're going to pay your fucking taxes, and I don't want to hear shit from you until 4 years from now. That's what they're saying when they say wir schaffen das. Unless, of course, they mean that their goal is to get rid of as many Germans as they possibly can. You know what I mean? Then schaffen die das auch. Yeah, they're right. Die schaffen das. But the people of the country aren't really handling this so well. So my advice, people in big cities, where this is mostly happening, I would say, if you're smart, you will arm yourself, right? You will arm yourself with some sort of weapon. You won't let yourself get intimidated with bullshit about fucking, well, you're not allowed to carry this kind of knife. And look. You are under attack. And the government obviously can do nothing to protect you. Not only can they do nothing, they don't want to. They don't want to do anything, right? They don't want to do anything. Now, in this case, in the case in Berlin over the weekend, it was a Syrian guy that stabbed a 29-year-old German guy because they got into some sort of altercation on the street, I think, or in a tram or a train. I don't know. Anyway, somewhere in Berlin, they got into an argument the fucking Syrian guy stabbed the German guy 4 times. The German guy is dead. Syrian guy's dead too now because the police shot him. You know, which is another thing that's weird to me. You know what I'm saying? In America, you've got the police have tasers. In Germany, they still don't have tasers. Why? Why? Why not give the police a method that they can incapacitate somebody without having to kill him, right? Why not? Why not train the police better so they have like jujitsu skills or something like that so that they can disarm somebody so they don't have to always reach for their weapon and murder people? You know what I mean? Now, in this case, in the States, they would have shot his ass too, because apparently the Syrian guy was walking towards the police with the knife in his hand. In America, you get like 2 warnings and then you get your fucking head blown off. That's the end. They'd say, drop the fucking knife right now. You take another step, you're dead. That's how it goes. So the government's lucky. They don't have to worry about having to deport this guy because that motherfucker is dead. Okay? So they got off easy on this one too. So now they don't have to worry about that. But in other parts of the country, there were also knife attacks, right? One was on a lady in a wheelchair because the guy was pissed that he couldn't get on the bus or something. You know what I mean? So I can't get on the bus because it's full, probably full of people that are legally not even allowed to be here, right? And now I'm pissed off. So I'm going to go and attack some lady in a wheelchair sitting outside doing nothing. And if people complain, don't complain. You racist, Hitler, Putin-loving, right-wing nutbag. Don't you dare. It's Hasun Hetze. We're going to fucking put you away if you complain about this on the internet. That's right. These people are completely bananas, right? So if I were anybody living in a big city, first of all, if I have the money, move. If you have kids, move, right? Don't vote for this lunacy and then have your kids be the victim of the consequences of your vote, right? Because it's mostly big cities that vote Green or SPD or leftist, or CDU belongs to them too. So it's the people in the big cities voting for all these crazy policies that normally they don't feel the effects of, but now they're going to, because the immigration is going to get more and more out of control. The violence is going to get more and more out of control. And at some point, German people are going to start defending themselves. Yeah, it's risky in this country. If you defend yourself, you may go to prison. Better than being dead, right? Better than being dead. So I would say, get smart, arm yourself with something, and if anybody ever runs at you with a fucking knife in this country, you fight back, right? If you can get away, get away. Why risk it? But if you can't get away and somebody has a butcher knife and you ain't got shit because you follow the law, and then you're dead. You know what I'm saying? People in this country are going to have to start defending themselves. Now, I'm not encouraging anybody to go do violence. I'm encouraging you to stay alive. I'm telling you, clearly, this has gotten out of the politicians' control, and they have no desire to control it, to rein it in, to do anything to stop it. They're going to do nothing, right? They're going to do nothing. So, the police are not watching your back every day, every moment, right? They're not everywhere at every moment. So if you happen to be somewhere and you get into an issue with some crazy nutbag with a knife, what are you supposed to do? Wait for the cops and be dead when they get there? Right? No. You know what I mean? No, that's not possible. You have to, the German people are going to have to start understanding that they are on their own, right? Every oath, every promise, every thing that the government in this country is supposed to be doing to the benefit of their citizens, they are not doing. They cannot protect you. They cannot provide education. They cannot provide infrastructure. The bridges are all falling apart. They don't have a military. They can't even defend the country, right? And yet you are paying exorbitant amounts of taxes. Exorbitant amount. Me too, right? Me too, because I live here. Exorbitant amount of taxes that you are getting nothing for in return. Partially because your money is going to mostly NGOs, Ukraine, Israel, all kinds of other shit that nobody fucking asked for. Meanwhile, here, we have to drive 60 kilometers an hour over every single shitty fucking bridge in this country because, well, if we drive 80, the fucking thing might fall down, right? Every day, I have to put my life at risk driving over the shit bridges in what's turning to be like a third world country when you look at the infrastructure. And I pay a shitload of taxes for that. My trucking company that my boss runs, he pays a shitload of mout, right? Why? For the streets, to make the streets safe and not a bunch of potholes, not a bunch of shit. No, but they use that and put it towards climate change or some fucking bullshit that nobody asked for. So while the German people and the tax-paying citizens of this country pay through the fucking nose, they can't even count on being protected from a crazy Islamist on the street with a knife. Nope, they can't. You're on your own, Germans. You're on your own. We are on our own. This government is completely incompetent. The new one as well as the old one. They are utterly incompetent. And not only do they deny that they're incompetent, well, they do deny it. But they're saying, no, it's not incompetence. That's what we want, right? It's not, we're not stupid. We can do this. We just don't want to do it, right? We're not incompetent. This is exactly the plan. That's what they're saying. Like Friedrich Merz said this weekend, he was like, well, breathing air is going to be more expensive with our government, guys. Yeah, because we want to motivate people to use less energy. Oh, you want to motivate them, is that right? Oh, is that because you're giving a giant bonus at the end of every year to people who only used a certain amount of CO2? No, that means that you're going to be paying for CO2 through the fucking nose, whether it's going to be your car that you want to put gas in, whether it be your house that you want to heat. It's all going to get more expensive. And that's exactly how we want it, guys, because we want to baby our citizens, right? We want to raise our citizens. We want to take the place of our citizens' parents. And we feel like they need government raising from the time they're born until the time they die. And they're going to just do what we say. And since they're not doing what we say, since they're still not using less CO2, since they're still not poor enough that they can still drive gas cars, we're going to fucking wring their neck and we're going to choke them out of their money as much as we can so that they won't be able to buy gas. That's their plan. We don't want you to buy gas. And we want you to put the heating system in your house that we fucking tell you to. And if you don't, we're going to make that more expensive so that you won't be able to afford to heat your house. Oh, does that mean you won't be able to afford a new heater either because that's going to cost $100,000 to build in your house? Tough shit. The climate's more important, guys, even though we're not doing one fucking thing to save the climate in any way, shape, or form. As long as the whole world isn't working together on this, as long as they're still denying using nuclear power, these people, we're not doing jack shit, right? It's not about the climate. It's about control. So Friedrich Merz, mini-me to Lars Klingbeil. Lars Klingbeil's mini-me says, we're going to make air more expensive. Who the fuck do these people think they are? And now we're going to get into the part where I have this discussion with a friend of mine in Texas over and over again. And he's right. I can't say he's wrong. This will never change until the citizens do something about it, right? And it starts with making the right voting choices, okay? It starts with paying attention to what these people are actually doing. It starts with being a little bit more politically involved than the regular average person. You have to keep these fucking politicians on a short leash. Nobody's doing that. Everybody just votes, and after that they go, well, we voted, we did our part. You know what I'm saying? And not even everybody does that. But you're making the wrong voting choices. If you continue to make the wrong voting choices, the tyranny that these governments are trying to implement on their citizens, including this German government, is going to continue and get worse and worse. We see it on the freedom of speech front. The Meinungsfreiheit werde sehr weit eingeschränkt in this country, right? It's going to be cut off. They're trying to cut you off from your freedom of information, right? And they're trying to cut you off from your freedom of opinion and freedom of speech. It starts there. Every totalitarian country, every tyrannical dictatorship starts with that. They take away free press. They take away freedom of speech. They make sure that all the citizens shut the fuck up and are too scared to say the truth. And then they go from there. That's exactly the plan Germany is following. Not for the first time, by the way, let me tell you. So all this talk about what the Nazis did and what they said, you know what I'm saying? It looks like these new governments here in Germany are following the Nazi playbook pretty good, okay? Pretty good. And no, I'm not accusing them of murdering a bunch of people or that they're going to build concentration camps, although that was already on their mind during COVID. You know, if they would have been able to get it through, they would have easily thrown a bunch of Ungeimpfte in the fucking concentration camp like they did in fucking Australia, another supposedly free democratic country, right? So let's call a spade here. When Hitler got in, he killed the press, he killed the freedom of opinion and freedom of Meinungsäußerung, and he made sure that people couldn't speak out against his politics, right? Does that sound familiar to you? It sounds familiar to me. You know what it is, though? The weird thing is that the people that are calling everybody else Nazis are doing the Nazi behavior, right? They're the ones that are acting like Nazis. It's so odd to me. You know what I mean? That I know I'm not the only one that sees this, right? And yet they still get up there and still call everybody Nazis. It's unreal. It's unreal. So guys, get ready to pay for breathing, pay some more for breathing, pay a lot more for driving, because they want to push you as far down as they possibly can. See, that's socialism, right? They want to make sure that everybody's equal. So instead of making everybody rich, they do the easier thing and just make everybody's ass poor. Right? That's the way to go. Then we're all equal. Then we can't bitch anymore. And the government did its job. We did it, guys. Wir haben das geschafft. We got everybody to be poor as shit. The country's falling apart completely. Nothing is being managed correctly. You know, they came up in this Koalitionsvertrag with another ministerium, another government department in order to work on the digitalization of the government. And they promised by 2027 we're going to get rid of all the fax machines. Oh, wow. Wow, guys. I mean, Jesus Christ, if that's not a reason to already put your vote in for Friedrich Merz again for next round of elections, I don't know what is, man. These people are finally going to get rid of fax machines, and they need a whole department for that. So they need to hire a whole bunch more people, right, to get rid of the fax machine. Listen, guys, everybody in the world knows how to email. Okay? Everybody in the world knows how to scan a document. So what the hell are you talking about? You just rip the fax machines out of the fucking wall, you throw them in a big fucking dumpster, pay to take them to Restmüll or Sperrmüll or whatever the fuck it's called, and start emailing shit. It takes a whole new department and more employees and more bureaucracy to learn how to email and stop using fax machines. Wow, wow, man. Yeah, we get it. We're dealing with some really tough stuff here. I mean, it's one crisis after another for poor Friedrich Merz, the poor CDU, and these poor tyrant motherfuckers that think they have the right to push us all around and tell us what to do in every aspect of our lives. But my buddy in Texas is right. It's up to us to make them stop. And it doesn't have to go to violently attacking some Capitol building or some shit like that. It doesn't have to be violent. But if the people do not solve this problem by getting rid of these morons when it comes time to vote, then the next step is going to be like in Romania, right? They're going to say, well, we know you all want the AfD, but we're not going to let them run. We're going to ban them. They might already do that now, right? Friedrich Merz has essentially 4 years to work together with every apparatchik in the government to try to get the AfD banned. Maybe we already blew it by voting them in this time. Maybe we made the same mistake that the people that voted for the Nazis made, right? I can't say me because I didn't vote for Friedrich Merz. I can't vote here because I'm not German, but I wouldn't have voted for him. I would have voted for the AfD, hands down. At least Weidel needs to be the chancellor in this country. It's clear. It's obvious, right? So, those people that voted for the CDU instead of the AFD this last time may have actually made the same mistake the people who voted for the Nazis did. Because what happens if during this 4 years they find a legal route or a loophole to ban the AFD anyway? What's up next time for the election then? Oh, well, then all you've got is these choices that you have now, right? Then it's going to be SPD or Friedrich Merz or somebody like that. But political change, forget that shit. Now you're in the realm of, now violence might be the only answer, right? Now there may be only one answer to get us out of this problem. Do you think the North Korean people are able to vote themselves out of their situation or use democratic processes to get themselves out of that situation, to use the law to sign petitions or any shit like that? Do you think they have any choice? If they want out of their situation, there's going to be only one way. Are the Germans going to let it get to that point here? Or are you people finally going to wake up and say, wait a fucking minute, this is nuts. This is nuts. We can't let this happen. Now, I hope to God that there will be another chance to vote for the AFD in 4 years. Hopefully less. We might get lucky and it's going to be less. But what if there's not? Think about that. Think about what you've done by voting for the CDU this time and them turning around and going, okay, thanks for voting us in. Now we're going to go back on every promise we made. We're going to further restrict your freedom of speech. We're going to tighten up the Majesteitsbeleidigung laws. We're going to make sure that more migrants come in this country than you've ever seen before. We're not going to do shit to protect you. We're going to continue shoveling money to Ukraine. We're going to arm the country against Putin, who is not even considering attacking anything in Europe. You know what I mean? And you guys are just going to have to shut up and take it. And we're going to do whatever the fuck we want. We're going to start making the air more expensive. We're going to start making sure you can't drive. We're going to start making sure you can't heat your house anymore. And maybe you'll be lucky and get a stick of butter once a week from the government, right? That's where they're headed, thanks to the people that voted the CDU into office this time. Why don't you think about that for the next couple of years and keep your fingers crossed that democracy will not be completely incapacitated in this country like it has been in France and Romania, two European EU countries where it's already happened. Those people are already screwed, right? They're already screwed because there can't, okay, France not so much because they still got some people in the party that can take Marine Le Pen's place. But in the case of Romania, you know what I'm saying? It's not a party that they're trying to vote for, it's a president. Right? They tried to do it in America, it didn't work there. Thank God. But it'll work in Germany, you know, because they're trying every which way they can to make sure that they take away every right you people have and I have in this country. So I would hope that you guys think about that shit, right? And make a better choice next time. Because I'm telling you, at some point, these tyrants are going to start cracking the whip at us. And if we don't start pushing back while the whip isn't cracking, then the pushback is going to hurt a lot more, right? Right now, we can push back with words, memes, voting, democratic processes, you know what I'm saying? When this government goes completely tyrannical in a country, or when a government goes completely tyrannical in a country, then if you try to use your democratic rights, they will use violence against you. What are you supposed to do then? What are you supposed to do then? You got two choices. You can be like the North Koreans and shut the fuck up and get in line and just go, well, that's the way it is now. All my freedoms and my whole life has been taken away, and I've just got to do whatever these fucking bastards tell me because they've got me held hostage. Because they have violence and I can't use it. They have weapons and I don't have any. They've got all the power and I've got none. The German people are allowing whatever little power they may still have over the politics in this country, they are allowing them to be stripped away. One by one. And if you think that the politicians and the so-called leaders who are actually servants, right? If you think that they're going to go wake up one day and go, we're tired of bullying these people. We're going to give them all their rights. We're going to just let them use their rights to their T. We're going to let them say whatever they want. And we're going to just do our job and shut the fuck up and stop harassing our own citizens. If you think that's what's going to happen, I've got a bridge to sell you people. That is not happening. These tyrants are going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing until there is a breaking point. And it would be very easy to have in Germany a non-violent breaking point. The farmers tried it last year, right? They tried it last year. You know, in other countries, in Holland, the farmers tried it with a little bit more oomph than the farmers here did. You know what I mean? So, there are ways to democratically make your voice heard, to vote for the right people, to take the step and stop voting for the wrong people. But if you don't do it, they're going to close the net over us at some point. It may not be in 4 years. It may not be in 10, but it may be in the lifetimes of your children, right? That Germany goes back to the same totalitarian roots of Nazi Germany as it was back then. That is very possible. I don't think it's going to be possible to exterminate people on mass scales like the Nazis did with the Jews. But I think the totalitarian control mechanism over the people of a country can very easily be implemented in any one of these Western countries, including America, right? It was, if Kamala Harris would have won, it would have been over, right? It would have been over. Luckily, she didn't, because the people there said, we have had enough. All right, Germany. It is Monday. It is the 13th. No, it's the 14th of April, 2025. It's now 10:15 in the morning. This was the Insanity Report for today. And if you want to get all of my content delivered directly to your email inbox, all you have to do is subscribe to my Substack. You can do that for free, or you can do it for $5 a month. There, nothing is censored, nothing is hidden, nothing is banned, nothing is taken down, nothing is removed. So you get all my content. As soon as it gets published, you get an email notification with a link in it. And there you can see any of my content, read any of my articles, and you won't have to worry about missing a thing, because there, nothing gets banned or deleted. Now we'll see what happens with the new German government. Maybe they'll be able to force Substack in some way to delete stuff. But we're lucky, because the censorship here in Germany and in Europe means that these companies are also going to start censoring Americans. That's going to be unacceptable. So it's very likely that America, under Donald Trump, will be able to save us from that part of the tyranny, at least until the German people get some balls and fucking start standing up to these tyrannical government structures. That's all I've got for today, people. Have a good day. My condolences go out to the people who were murdered this weekend. Unfortunately, it's becoming a regular occurrence, and it's going to continue. Like I said, this government is long made clear that they will not or cannot protect you from what they have done. That's just the sad truth of it all. All right, guys, take it easy. Have a good Monday. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.